This is the National Pro Cup Championship, crown jewel of late model competition, here for race number 14 of 24, the Napa Auto Parts 125 at the Boston International Speedway. Pepsi Max, proud sponsor of the pole award given to the fastest qualifier at each National Pro Cup Championship event. And on the pole for today is the number 16 of Star Banner for Power Steering Incorporated. Starting on her outside is the number 18 of Chuck Johnson. See, we told you he was going to make a bounce back after a pretty dismal performance at New Hampshire. Sean Sanchez starting in third, and Nate Patrick of St. Amazing Autosport starting in the fourth position. Banner leads them down into turn number 1 and 2. This is a 1.1 mile D-shaped oval. One of the few 1 mile ovals that are on the circuit this season. As Star Banner comes down to lead the first lap of 114 that are scheduled today, as Chuck Johnson now has a run to the inside of Banner for the lead of the race, looking to lead a lap and gain that all-important bonus point, which could decide a lot of things, including the championship. So Chuck Johnson moving to the front early here today, and Sean Sanchez currently running in third, and Quackenbush currently running in fourth. But here's the man on the move. Zach Gott and the number 71 Asani for Gravity Racing Incorporated started back in the 15th position, and in just 3 laps he's in the top 5. This car is on a rail right now, picking up right where he left off last week at New Hampshire, and that maiden victory here in the National Pro Cup Championship has really energized this 71 team. And it's showing here today as he blows by the 58 of Sanchez and now has a run underneath his teammate of Quackenbush. That's for the third position as they head down the front stretch and into turn number 1. And he is closing rapidly on that 16 of Star Banner as Sanchez now has a run underneath of Quackenbush for the fourth position. And already making the move into turn 3, trying to get underneath the 16 of Banner. Coming out of turn 4, ooh, might have touched a little bit. If they didn't, it was pretty close. As Scott has the run underneath the Banner, that's for the number 2 spot. And now he sets his sights on Chuck Johnson for the race lead going down the backstretch. Wow. This car is on a rail from 15th to 1st in 6 laps. First caution of the race would come out on lap number 6. Pretty scary incident right here as Quackenbush gets spun by Valerie Forge down the backstretch and up the banking, and over he goes after getting clobbered by the 8 and the 02. Fortunately, that was on the right side of the car and not the driver's side. Wow, what a scary looking incident there. As you see on board from the 8 of Joshua Michaels, as the 28 spins out, comes back up the track, and he just gets nailed in the left front. Fortunately, Quackenbush was able to climb out of that car as several drivers would fall out of the race here. And here we are on board the 02 of Jennifer Duke as she sees it from her roof cam. Whoa, as she was the one who slammed into the right side of that car. So Quackenbush very, very lucky there that he didn't get T-boned in the driver's side. And here's what happened to Roy Warren. He was the one that Quackenbush hit when that 28 car just came right back up the track. Several cars involved in this one. The 8, the 02, the 28, the 99, and the 66. Duke, Michaels, and Quackenbush would all have to drop out of the race from this accident, as Scott continues to lead the way on the restart on lap number 11 with Chuck Johnson in second, Star Banner in third, Sean Sanchez in fourth, and Ray Takita in the top 5. Once again, another good qualifying effort by that 08 car. Caution number 2 occurs on lap 12, and we have sort of a similar situation as the 34 of Parker Whitten gets spun by the 1, but then as the 1 is coming back up the track, he gets collected by the 2 and the 49, and the 49 gets clobbered by the 99 of Roy Warren. Oh boy, as you see, Parker Whitten gets spun through the grass, but he gets a... oh! Similar to what happened with Quackenbush, he comes up the track and he nails the 04 of Betty Cox. No, just nothing for Cox to do. Just nothing for her to... she couldn't really avoid it, so... And here's what happened with the 1, the 2, and the 49 as they get collected in turn 3. And then, oh, as the 49 of Arthur Gordon tries to get going again, The 99 of Roy Warren comes flying in, on board with Warren now as he sees the wreck happening in front of him. He tries to go low, but nearly made it through, but the 49 just came down the track and collected him. 4 cars were eliminated from that accident. LaBouffe, Gordon, Drake Ryder, and Warren all out of the race. That's especially bad news for Drake Ryder, considering that his championship rival, Chuck Johnson, is currently running in P2 behind the 71 of Zach Gott, as Star Banner now finds herself in 3rd position with Sean Sanchez. And here's Parker Whitten getting into the back of the 04, another case of brain fade on the backstretch. Don't know what that was about, but fortunately for Betty Cox in the 04, nobody else hits her as she comes flying back up the track and backs it into the wall. No caution flag for this though, apparently, I guess because it was at the back of the pack, so no caution for that. Gott continues to lead the way, and as you can see, just 25 laps in, he now has opened up a 4-second lead on Chuck Johnson. Coming up through the field now, just like last week, the 56 of Sean Johnson, as he goes underneath the other Johnson, Chuck. In the 18, that would be a battle for the 2nd position. So Sean Johnson, once again, behind Zach Gott, just like last week. And as we come to the halfway point, Gott continues to lead the way, and he's now coming up to lap Valerie Forge in the 24, who's currently in the 7th position, so now only 6 cars remain on the lead lap. The 3rd caution of the day would fly on lap 61. As the 08 of Ray Takita gets into the back of Nate Patrick and the 66 on the backstretch once again, sending him for a bit of a loop. Fortunately, nobody else is collected, and Nate Patrick continues on without further damage. At this point in the race, only 2 cars remain on the lead lap, the 71 of Zach Gott and the 56 of Sean Johnson. So it's going to take a minute for Sean Johnson to catch up, so Gott is going to come down pit road as the leader, and they can pretty much take their time because Johnson is just not going to be able to catch up with them by the time they make their pit stop. Pretty much everybody else comes down the pit lane the 2nd time around, all the lap down cars, to make pit stops and adjustments. So on the restart on lap number 66, Zach Gott and Sean Johnson, the only 2 cars starting on the outside lane, but they got some strong cars on that inside, as Star Banner, currently P3, now gets herself back on the tail end of the lead lap. Sean Johnson currently in the 4th position, and Valerie Forge in the 24 in 5th, although they are currently 1 lap down. Star Banner now has herself on the tail end of the lead lap and hoping for a caution flag here real quick. Her teammate Valerie Forge in the 24 gets a run underneath the 71 of Gott, heading into turn number 4, and she will also get back on the tail end of the lead lap. Problem is, she still needs a caution to come back around, so Gott's still pretty much in control at this point of the race. The final caution would come out on lap 77, and this one caused quite a bit of controversy as the 66 Nate Patrick, many laps down, comes up in front of the leaders, gets into the 16, which comes down in front of the 71 of Zach Gott. Oh boy, that's not going to go well with the officials at all. As you can see, he just comes up right in front of Star Banner and Valerie Forge. Star Banner hits the wall, comes down the track, and right into the side of the 71. Wasn't really anything for her that she could do, or anything that Gott could do for that matter. He just wasn't expecting that at all. And the officials were understandably furious with the 66 car, as Gott now has to come down pit road. Nate Patrick was invited to meet with the officials after the race, and judging by their current temperament, I would expect some severe penalties for that 66 car. And here are the 3 drivers who benefit from that. Valerie Forge, Star Banner, and Chuck Johnson all get back on the lead lap. And on the restart, Sean Johnson will lead them to the green flag on lap number 82. Valerie Forge in 2nd, Star Banner 3rd, Chuck Johnson in 4th. Zach Gott is now 12th, 1 lap down, and has quite significant damage to his car, as Valerie Forge, after being just a lap down, just 1 restart to go, now challenges Sean Johnson for the lead of the race, heading into turns 3 and 4. And here comes Star Banner, her teammate, to try to challenge. and Chuck Johnson looking on from the 4th position, as the 58 of Sean Sanchez currently holds down his 5th position on the tail end of the lead lap. Those are your 5 cars on the lead lap. Sanchez on the tail end of it, and the 4 cars in position to win this race. Here comes Chuck Johnson underneath the 16 of Star Banner as the laps wind down, and will take over the number 3 spot. Ooh, maybe not yet. Banner really dives it hard into turn 1, but Johnson has the preferred groove, and he will take over the number 3 position. And just a few laps later, Johnson has a run on the other Johnson. Go figure. The 56 of Sean Johnson coming off of turn 4, and he will take over the number 2 position from Sean Johnson. And with Quackenbush and Drake Ryder out of the race, a big opportunity for Chuck Johnson to really extend his championship lead. But this day, with a little bit of circumstances falling her way, will belong to Valerie Forge in the number 24 as she comes off the final turn and takes the checkered flag for her 3rd win of the season and 3rd of her career. She wins the Napa Auto Parts 125 at the Boston International Speedway. Chuck Johnson comes home in 2nd, Sean Johnson in 3rd. Valerie Forge's teammate Star Banner comes home in 4th. Those are the only 4 cars on the lead lap. Sean Sanchez, notches a top 5 finish. Alexis Farr comes home in 6th. Ray Takita, good run for her, comes home in 7th. Aubrey Wood, back-to-back 8th place finishes. Nick Van Gelder, another good top 10 run in 9th. And Andrea Lynn Caldwell gets back into the top 10 with a 10th place run here today. As we look at the rest of the field, Parker Whitten in 11th spot. Zach Gott led 71 laps today, but finishes 2 laps down in 12th place after pretty much an idiot cost him the victory. Betty Cox in 13th. The aforementioned idiot Nate Patrick probably getting his butt behind chewed out by the officials after that little brain fade there late in the race. Benny LaBouffe in 15th. Arthur Gordon, Eric Drake Ryder, Roy Warren, Jennifer Duke, Joshua Michaels, and John Quackenbush all out of the race. Rose Cup point standings after 7 of 15 events. Eric Drake Ryder continues to lead the way. Zach Gott 51 points back. Forge beginning to close in a little bit, so it's starting to tighten up at the top of the Rose Cup, with Drake Ryder having some trouble here lately, especially here today at Boston. As for the overall championship, as expected, Johnson's points lead shoots back up to 48 points over Drake Ryder. Forge now moves her way up into the number 3 spot past John Quackenbush, who drops to 4th. Gott continues to run in 5th, but he's now 93 points back. Sean Johnson, Parker Whitten, Star Banner, Nate Patrick, and Nick Van Gelder round out the top 10. The next time the Stars and Cars of the National Pro Cup Championship hit the track, it will be at the Fonda Speedway in New York for the Empire State Dirt Wars. Thank you for joining us today. I'm color commentator John Lyondike, and we'll see you next time.